may halong pagbabanta din yung yung sagot ng ating undersecretary. Kasi nga daw fake news daw yung pinapalabas ni Mayor Baste na i-raid yung bahay nila. Kasi nga fake news yun. Sabi pa nga niya, baka daw pag-aaralan nga raw nila ang siguro pag-file ng case against fake news. Okay, here's the thing. You can't blame our mayor. In fact, you cannot blame all the Davaoenos. Kasi, ang sabi niyo po kasi, hindi kayo magko-cooperate sa ICC, hindi niyo po i-acknowledge, hindi niyo po i-entertain ang idea ng warrant of arrest, even coming from the ICC just a year ago, less than a year ago. Yun sinabi niyo noon. Sabi niyo, hindi kayo makikialam. Di nawala na ng tiwala sa inyo yung tao. Si Mayor Baste, pinakulong niyo yung tatay niya eh. Okay, good evening everyone and welcome back to my channel here in YouTube and in Facebook Meta. So, as you all know that I am broadcasting my videos both in my Facebook and YouTube accounts. So, for those who don't know me, I'm Sir Weds, the resident Davao teacher here in Facebook. And of course, again, this is another night broadcasting live, talking about certain stuff that are happening in our country, which is not just about our agency sa DepEd, but I could say na everything in general na medyo maingay yung mga tao dito, no? Pasensyahan nyo na po. So, yung concern po natin ngayon, as you already know sa title, no? Is about the statement of the speaker ng presidential spokesperson. So, siya po yung palace speaker, the presidential spokesperson si Yusek Castro. One thing I'm quite baffled by Yusek Castro is that prior her appointment as the spokesperson for the palace, I remember there were videos na he was against Bongbong Marcos. So I'm a bit parang surprised na she actually took the job for representing the president. So yun nga po, yung title ng ating topic for tonight would be her speech or her answer, her response about the circumstances that are transpiring here in our city, especially here in Davao, kasi I'm from Davao City. So, kita nyo na siguro yung mga pinost na mga news channel na especially here sa Davao, yung sa Abante, yung caption pa nga niya, nabalaka. Diba? Nabalaka ang palasyo sa mga nangahitabo kuno kinukuno diri sa Dakbayan sa Davao. Which, kung sa Tagalog pa, parang nag-aalala daw po yung palasyo sa mga kaganapan dito sa aming lungsod, sa aming bayan. So, mas maganda, sa mga hindi po nakapanood nung statement talaga ni Castro, pakinggan po natin siya. Kasi, hindi po tayo, nagpapalabas dito ng mga fake news. So, galing naman po yun sa isang reputable organization po yung shinare ng mga posts and images about her statement. Pero mas maganda po, straight from the horse's mouth, kumbaga. Di ba? To be fair naman din po sa kanya. Mas maganda, pakinggan po natin yung siya mismo yung nagsabi. Para makriticize natin or makareact po tayo dun po sa pag-aalala ng palasyo sa atin bilang mga Davaoenyo. mga taga-Sub-Saharan Wakan Davao. Kasi nag-aalala na po yung palasyo sa atin. So, nakaka-touch po yun kasi nag-aalala po sila. Ang tanong, anong klaseng pag-aalala ba yan? So, yun po yung gusto nating alamin ngayon. Pakikinggan po natin yung statement niya. Kasi yung statement po niya is mula po sa isang question naman po ng isang reporter. So, yun po yung ating pakikinggan ngayon. So, let's all listen to it. Let's watch and listen to it.
Ma'am, is Malacanang or hindi po ba concern ng Malacanang with what's happening in Davao considering the huge support that Davao is giving to the former president?
Ang mga taga Davao po ay Pilipino rin. Of course, tayo lang po, pati po ang palasyo, ang Pangulo, ay concern po sa nangyayari sa Davao. Pero ang tangi lamang po nating hiling ay sana po ay maging mahinahon at alamin po ang katotohanan. Yun lamang po, hindi po ba nagkaroon ng pagsasabi itong si Mayor Baste na sila daw ay i-raid yung kanilang bahay. Again, ito po ay walang katotohanan. Tinanong po natin si General Torre patungkol dyan kung mayroon pong operasyon ng pag-raid sa bahay. Kasi yun po yung sasabi nila palagi. Can we consider this as fake news? Can be. Uunahin ba natin sila idemanda dahil nagpakalat ng ganito? Pag-aaralan. Pero, nung sinabi po ni General Torre na walang ganong operasyon, hindi po ba ang sinagawa nilang pagsasabi na may pagre-raid ay nakagulo sa isipan ng mga taga Davao City? Sana po, yung mga kababayan po natin, lahat po tayo dito ay Pilipino. Magmasid lang po muna tayo. Yun lang po ang tanging hiling natin. Okay?
Okay. So, okay. May halong pagbabanta din yung sagot ng ating undersecretary. Kasi nga daw fake news daw yung pinapalabas ni Mayor Baste na i-raid yung bahay nila. Kasi nga fake news yun. Sabi pa nga niya, baka daw pag-aaralan nga raw nila ang pag-file ng case against fake news. Okay, here's the thing. You can't blame our mayor. In fact, you cannot blame all the Davaoenos. Kasi, ang sabi niyo po kasi, hindi kayo magko-cooperate sa ICC, hindi niyo po i-acknowledge, hindi niyo po i-entertain ang idea ng warrant of arrest, even coming from the ICC just a year ago, less than a year ago. Yun sinabi niyo noon. Sabi niyo, hindi kayo makikialam. Di nawala na ng tiwala sa inyo yung tao. Si Mayor Baste, pinakulong niyo yung tatay niya eh. Also, syempre, kung may magsabi sa mayor about it, na there could be a possibility or if there is really an intel na mayroon po talagang ganong raid na magaganap sa mga premises or sa mga vicinities or the properties of the Duterte family, of course, naglabas din siya ng hinaing na baka nga mga ganon. So, hindi siya ng simpatya sa mga Davaoeno. And here's the thing. The issue started not because of the things that Mayor Baste did or say. It all started because you took his father, brought him to the Netherlands, to The Hague, for an arrest warrant that did not even last for 24 hours. So, di ba, doon nagsimula yung issue. So, kung nag-aalala kayo sa mga taga-Davao, huwag kayo mag-aalala sa amin. Personally, hindi ako sumasama sa mga rallies and what. I'm not even part of the team who are calling to return former President Duterte home. I'm not part of the party that he's calling the government, our government, to bring him back. No, I'm not part of that. But what I'm saying is, it all started because of your decisions and courses of actions that you took during March 11. If I'm not mistaken, was it March 11? Yeah, it all started because of your decisions. So you cannot blame us if in one way or another, we are losing trust. Di ba? So, do not worry about us. I personally am not worried living here in our city. We're okay. They are doing these rallies peacefully. They are not inciting sedition or what. Mayor Baste is not saying that Marcos resign. No, he's not saying that. He's not even asking for an impeachment against Marcos. In fact, during his speech on the celebration of Araw ng Davao, though sarcastically, but we cannot judge his psychology, ang sinabi niya, he prays that you finish his term. Yun yung sinabi niya. So, in one way or another, he is saying na, okay lang, President Marcos, I'm rooting that you would complete your term as a president. So, yun yung sinabi ni Baste. So, he's not asking us, Davaoenos, I'm not speaking in behalf of all of Mindanao, okay? He's not asking us, Davaoenos, to rally behind him and ask for an impeachment or to oust our current president. Nope. And I personally wouldn't be the one to support that. Wala namang ganun. So, I hope Malacanang would chill, back off konti. Relax lang. Bugso po ng damdamin ng mga binabanggit ng ating mayor dito sa Davao. Kasi nga, anak siya ng tatay niya. Anak siya ng former president na dinala po ninyo sa The Hague. You cannot blame him for that. And the actions that you took may have motivated him to say all of those things. And if I may quote what he said, ito yung sinabi ni Mayor Baste, ipinalibing ko ng tatay ko yung tatay mo. Pero yung tatay ko, pinakulong mo. Or something of that effect. Di ba? Mabigat po yun siya na ano. And I know Yusek Castro already has a response for that. But, you know, palabra de honor, utang na loob, is a Filipino value. It's an intrinsic value and culture that is embedded in the veins, in the blood of every Filipino. Kayo na rin po nagsabi, Yusek. Ang mga taga Davao, ang mga Davaoeña po ay mga Pilipino. Yung pong dating presidente rin po natin, Pilipino rin po yun siya. Yun po yung sinisigaw nila. Dapat po, kinulong po siya dito sa korte at sa bilangguan ng Pilipinas. Kayo na rin po nagsabi, parang dinalisan nyo rin po kasi na pagiging Pilipino yung dating presidente. Dapat dito nyo po siya tinride. He should have been tried here. He should have been convicted here if he is supposed to be convicted, and he should have been imprisoned here in our homeland. Yun po yung pinakamabigat kasi doon na point. But, you know, we're okay here in Davao City. Kaya po marami ng mga taga Mindanao, I'm not just speaking about Davao, marami na po na taga Mindanao who has been advocating for an independent Mindanao. Kasi nga po sa mga ganyang bagay. And I for one do not agree with it. I for one do not agree with it, but I could not totally say na hindi ko po sila naiintindihan where they are coming from. Yung idea kasi ng independent Mindanao, especially during this current crisis, kasi crisis ito para sa mga taga Mindanao Siguro para sa inyo dyan sa Luzon and sa Visayas, hindi. Pero for us Mindanaoans, many of us consider it as a crisis. Ito po mga nangyayari ngayon. And I will admit, and don't get me wrong, as much as I support the idea of an independent Mindanao, making the idea true is a different matter altogether. And I know a lot of people don't seem to understand my positions and stances about these issues which are currently happening in our country, but the topic about an independent Mindanao is a rather aggressive slap to the whole nation, but it's quite difficult to achieve and sustain, even if it would ever be accomplished. Yan po ang posisyon ko. And naiintindihan ko po yung mga taga Mindanao kung bakit po sila ganito ngayon. Kasi nandito po kami lumaki. Ito na po yung lupang pinangako para po sa amin. Remember, excuse me, the cultural and ethnic diversity within Mindanao has and will always be the topmost highlight of all positive arguments regarding the independence of Mindanao. Our land, our region, our island has consistently promoted its maximum capacity to protect its cultural heritage since the foreign invasion of the country. And I have already discussed that matter for quite some time, and a lengthy video has been provided for that during my previous broadcast. Yun pong discrimination against the Muslims na tinawag po ninyong mga nagrarally na tempered glass. Alala niyo po yun, dun ko po yun diniscuss. Much of our historical tradition still exists today. And to such great lengths, it inculcates how Mindanaoans love their roots, and we love our own people. Further, Mindanao is popularly known for its abundant natural resources, fertile lands, and other elements and minerals. Imagine if all these are poured directly towards the island of Mindanao itself for its own consumption. Yan po yung idea kung bakit marami ngayon ang sumisigaw ng independent Mindanao. Kasi rin po sa ginagawa ninyo. Of course, this would also directly resolve the issue of marginalization. Kasi we are always marginalized. Kahit ngayong Mindanao Development Authority, yan po yung sinasabi nila for quite some time already. That the island of Mindanao has been marginalized and there is a disparity between the basic access to services that should have been available in our regions. And true, the historical account of conflict and grievances are present here in our island. There has always been the sense of prejudice and racial discrimination from the Luzon Empire against Mindanaoans. The apparent belief that they have always been better, and of course, that us here in Mindanao, we Mindanaoans are considered probinsyano. I don't recall Americans calling someone's terms like hillbilly or nigger as a compliment. And most of all, let's not get into the topic of religion. The MNLF, the MILF, from ARM to BARM, which is a very, very lengthy discussion. But of course, an independent Mindanao will only be an idea. For me, up to this very, very, very point, I can only conceive of it as an idea na hindi talaga mangyayari. It will never happen. Pero don't worry po, kahit po ganun, okay lang po kami dito. Huwag po kayong mag-alala, Malacanang sa amin. Because this idea is only beautiful as an imaginary concept. Making it possible is a wishful thinking. First and foremost, the matter of armed forces is the most sensitive issue or most critical issue. In case we will establish an independent state, where would we begin with protecting our state? The Philippines does not have the best artillery. But of course, it is way better than Mindanao starting from almost zero. How will we Mindanaoans secure our borders if we do not have the military power? And then there's the issue of the exclusive economic zone with China. So if Mindanao would be an independent country, then the EEZ would also be applicable to Mindanao versus Visayas and versus Luzon versus the whole country of the Philippines for that matter, kasi independent na kami. So we're going to have the same dispute with Visayas in the same way that the whole Philippines is having, or should I say the Luzon, is having dispute over China and the South China Sea na tinatawag po ninyong West Philippine Sea. Na tama nga naman yung sinasabi ni Congressman Marcoleta, mahirap tawaging West Philippine Sea kung hindi naman registered as West Philippine Sea ang South China Sea. And how are we going to resolve the NPAs? Yung mga NPA po that are still existing in Mindanao. And another thing would be the issue about the BARM. We already acknowledge that BARM was established with BOL, yung Bangsamoro Organic Law. And it was ratified with the Philippine Constitution in mind. So yung buong bansa po, yung mga politiko sa Pilipinas, yung presidente po ang nag-ratify nun. So kung ang Mindanao po magiging independent, we will alienate ourselves. The question would be, is BARM still valid? Shouldn't BARM also be dissolved? Since the autonomy that provided BARM, yung clearance po niya came from the Philippines and not from the newly established state of Mindanao. And then, the most important aspect of a government, the judicial, executive, and legislative structure. So, magiging bago rin po dapat yun sa bagong idea na magkakaroon ng independent Mindanao. And last and certainly but not the least, in an absent, non-existing form of government, who will lead this state? So we all know about the idea of an independent Mindanao. And whatever will be the courses of action na pinagbabanggit po ng aming mayor dito at ng mga supporters po ng mayor or ng Duterte family, hanggang dun lang po yun. Wala po kaming magagawa. We can only question. Kasi po, ang pinanghahawakan na lang po ng bawat Pilipino dito sa Mindanao is our right to free speech. But even that, gusto pang tanggalin sa paulit-ulit po niyo sinasabing ang bawat gobyernong empleyado ng ating bansa should be non-partisan and must not speak against the government. O, di ba? So, for me po, my position is, okay lang po kami dito, Yusek. We're okay here in Davao. Don't worry. We're not planning to be an independent Mindanao. We do not have the capacity to do so. We are not also planning or taking steps for a people power revolution or anything similar to that. No po, we're not there. And we know we cannot do that. Alam din po yan ng Duterte family. Alam po namin yan lahat. So, Yusek, as a Filipino, as a government employee, if I may suggest, humbly, instead of tagging us as spreaders of fake news against the so-called pag-raid sa mga bahay ng mga Duterte, kahit wala naman pong basihan, mas maganda po, hanap po kayo ng paraan to win back our trust. Because we, the Filipinos, are your constituents. Kami po ang recipient ng inyong serbisyo. Win back our trust. Win back the trust of the 32 million or 31 million voters who voted for the president. I'm not one of them. I can proudly say that I did not vote for the president, but at the very least, win back our trust that regardless of us voting you or not, you will still serve us as Filipinos since you are the president of this country. One that the former President Rodrigo Duterte pledged over and over again for the last 6 years of his term. Yan lang po. Maraming salamat sa panonood. Nawa po may natutunan na naman po kayo ngayon sa aking mini broadcast dito po sa Facebook and sa aking YouTube channel. Again po, this is Sir Weds of ISF Media coming to you live from Davao City. Maraming salamat sa panonood at sa pagsuporta. Hanggang sa muli, magandang gabi sa inyong lahat.